I had to start over a couple of times to make a video responding to this comment because my emotions were riding high. And at first I was angry. And lately I've been trying to keep my anger in check. And then I tried again and I couldn't stop crying. And the last thing the internet needs is another white girl crying. But this, comments like this, make me think one of two things, right? That you're either a horrible person or the propaganda you've been fed in order to dehumanize Palestinian people worked. Ethnic cleansing is the mass expulsion or killing of members of an unwanted ethnic or religious group in society. Now, I'm really sorry that the number isn't high for you to meet your standards or expectations of what should be considered a crisis. And I saw in a couple of your other comments that you basically are victim blaming or blaming Palestinians because they voted for Hamas. Now, I've openly admitted my ignorance on the topic, and I'm not trying to make excuses for that ignorance. I think many of us Americans who don't have any ties to either Palestine or Israel have kind of remained ignorant on the topic because we live in a country that's unequivocally pro-Israel, and we haven't really been exposed to everything that is going on. And I will do my due diligence starting now and in the future to never remain ignorant on things that are going on in this world ever again. Because what winds up happening is when things eventually reach a boiling point, and then it's being covered by the news and you're being hit with so much information at once, and you suddenly everybody has an opinion, suddenly everybody's an expert, suddenly everybody is a foreign affairs pro. There have been people for decades screaming from the rooftops for help in this crisis, screaming to help liberate the Palestinian people. And it all fell on deaf ears. A lot of people want to blame the Palestinian people for voting for Hamas and think that they deserve everything that's happening to them right now because of that, without taking some accountability for ignoring oppressed people for decades who are desperate for freedom and liberation. And when you have a group like that, they so often become easy targets for extremist groups who are promising them those things. The images that have been coming out of Gaza of people trying to evacuate, or children, bodies everywhere, hospitals who no longer have the resources. There's no point in having a hospital anymore in Gaza. Gaza, where the population is almost half children. And this is all you could say about it. I have the capacity in my heart to have empathy and compassion for all people. I am not Palestinian, I am not Israeli, and I'm not Jewish. And I know both groups have their feelings about what has happened in the past, what is currently happening right now. I have empathy and compassion in my heart for the victims of the attack in Israel. I have empathy and compassion in my heart for Jewish people all around the world, especially my Jewish friends who right now have feelings of fear and uncertainty and sadness, and those are all valid feelings. I'm not asking you to look at it through a political lens. I have people arguing in my comments left and right, disgustingly debating human life and who is worthy of it and who isn't. I want some of you right now who are saying things like this to step out of your privilege for a little bit, especially people who are parents who have children of their own, and ask yourself what you would want the world to be thinking and saying as you are fleeing with your children for your lives. And as you sit with that privilege, with food on your table, with water to drink, things that these people are being deprived of at the moment in the middle of a war, which is a crime, by the way, say a prayer. And I'm going to pray. And I'm going to pray for all the people who have died and will continue to die. And I will pray for people like you who say things like this. Because if this is your thought process, You need all the prayers you can get.